Did you know that the average person's carbon footprint in the US is about 16 tons per year? That's more than double the global average. Or that the fashion industry emits more CO2 than international flights and maritime shipping combined? Shocking, right? But here's the good news. You can make a huge difference with just a few changes in your daily life. In this video, we'll dive into 8 practical steps to cut your carbon footprint in every corner of your life. From your morning routine to the way you shop, eat, and even travel. Stick around because you'll discover some eye-opening facts and smart strategies that go beyond the basics. By the end, you'll have a clear, actionable plan to live more sustainably without sacrificing your lifestyle. Ready to get started? Let's jump in! Chapter 1. Green up your morning routine. Eco-friendly habits to start your day right. Start your day with a green twist. Did you know that switching to an energy-efficient shower head can save up to 2,700 gallons of water per year? That's enough to fill a small swimming pool! Simple swaps like using a bamboo toothbrush or a natural deodorant not only reduce plastic waste but also keep harmful chemicals away from your skin. If you're a coffee lover, try a reusable coffee filter or a French press. Disposable filters are often bleached and can take years to break down. Plus, the French press coffee is super smooth. When it comes to your morning skincare routine, look for products that come in recyclable packaging and contain natural ingredients. Avoid microbeads, they're tiny plastic particles that pollute our oceans. For breakfast, opt for organic and local produce. Not only is it healthier for you, but it also supports sustainable farming practices. And here's a cool fact. Eating just one plant-based meal a day can reduce your carbon footprint by 1.5 tons of CO2 annually. Finally, unplug those energy vampires like phone chargers and coffee machines when not in use. They can suck up electricity even when turned off. Chapter 2. Conscious consumerism. The art of shopping with the planet in mind. Shopping doesn't have to harm the planet. Did you know that the fashion industry is responsible for 10% of global carbon emissions? That's more than all international flights combined. Start by choosing quality over quantity. Invest in pieces that last, and you'll save money in the long run too. When shopping, look for brands that prioritize sustainability. Some companies use recycled materials or donate a portion of their profits to environmental causes. Thrifting is another great option. Second-hand shopping reduces demand for new products and saves resources. It's like giving clothes a second chance at life. Speaking of life, did you know that producing one cotton t-shirt requires 2,700 liters of water? That's enough for one person to drink for 2.5 years. So, before buying, ask yourself, do I really need this? When it comes to groceries, bring your own bags and containers. Bulk shopping is not only cheaper, but also cuts down on packaging waste. And don't forget to support local farmers and artisans. Buying locally reduces transportation emissions and strengthens your community. Finally, learn to spot greenwashing, a term for when companies falsely claim to be eco-friendly. A little research goes a long way in making sure your money supports true sustainability. Chapter 3. Zero-waste kitchen hacks. Cooking with the environment in mind. Your kitchen is a hotspot for cutting carbon. Food waste is a massive problem. Roughly 1/3 of all food produced is wasted. That's about 1.3 billion tons annually. Start by planning your meals to avoid buying more than you need. Meal prepping can also save you time during the week. When shopping, choose unpackaged fruits and veggies. Plastic wrap and bags contribute to the 8 million tons of plastic that end up in our oceans each year. Store leftovers in reusable containers instead of single-use plastics. Glass jars work wonders for this. Composting is another fantastic way to reduce waste. Instead of tossing food scraps in the trash, compost them to enrich your garden soil. Did you know that composting can reduce the volume of waste you send to the landfill by up to 50%? And here's a fun tip. Regrow your kitchen scraps. Green onions, celery, and even lettuce can regrow from their roots. It's like having an endless supply of fresh veggies. Also, cut down on energy use by cooking with a pressure cooker or slow cooker. They use less energy than traditional ovens. Lastly, if you eat meat, consider reducing your consumption. Livestock farming contributes to 14.5% of global greenhouse gas emissions. A small cut in meat intake can make a big difference. Like what you're seeing? Hit subscribe and we'll continue right where we left off. Chapter 4. Eco-traveling. Sustainable adventures without the carbon footprint. Traveling sustainably is easier than you think. Did you know that a single flight from New York to London emits about 1.6 tons of CO2 per passenger? That's nearly the same as driving a car for a year. Start by exploring closer to home. Local trips can be just as exciting as far-off destinations, and they drastically reduce your carbon footprint. When you do travel, consider trains or buses. They're more energy efficient than planes. For accommodations, look for eco-friendly hotels that use renewable energy, recycle, and support local communities. Some even offer discounts if you skip housekeeping services. If you're into camping, leave no trace. That means packing out everything you bring in, including your trash. And remember, when you buy souvenirs, choose local handmade items over mass-produced trinkets. This supports local artisans and reduces the environmental impact of shipping goods worldwide. If flying is a must, offset your carbon emissions. Many airlines and independent companies offer carbon offset programs where you can invest in projects that reduce CO2, like planting trees or building renewable energy sources. And here's a quote to inspire your journey. "The greatest threat to our planet is the belief that someone else will save it." Robert Swan. Your travel choices can be part of the solution. Chapter 5. Green Tech. The gadgets and apps that shrink your carbon footprint. Technology can be your best friend in the fight against climate change. Imagine saving energy with just a tap on your phone. Smart thermostats like Nest can reduce heating costs by up to 15%, according to the U.S. Department of Energy. These devices learn your schedule and adjust the temperature to save energy when you're not home. Another cool gadget is the Smart Power Strip, which automatically turns off electronics when they're not in use. Did you know that phantom energy from idle electronics accounts for about 5% of total energy consumption in the US? That's a lot of wasted power! Apps like Julebug make living green fun and social. It turns eco-friendly actions into a game where you earn points and compete with friends. For those who love data, apps like Energy Tracker let you monitor your home's energy use in real time. Seeing those numbers drop is super motivating. Solar chargers for your devices are another neat option, especially when you're on the go. They harness the power of the sun, reducing the need for electricity. And here's a fun fact. If every US household replaced just one regular light bulb with an LED, we could save about 9 billion kilowatt hours of electricity annually. That's enough to power all the homes in Washington, D.C. for over a year. Finally, consider switching to a renewable energy provider if available in your area. Many companies now offer options that let you power your home with wind or solar energy, which can drastically cut your carbon footprint. Chapter 6. Sustainable Style. Building an eco-friendly wardrobe. Fashion can be fabulous and eco-friendly. The first step is to embrace the concept of slow fashion. This means choosing quality over quantity and buying clothes that are made to last. Did you know that the average person only wears 20% of their wardrobe regularly? That's a lot of clothes just sitting in the closet! When shopping, look for materials like organic cotton, bamboo, or recycled fabrics. These materials use less water and fewer chemicals than conventional ones. Patagonia, for example, uses recycled materials in over 68% of its clothing. Another tip is to buy timeless pieces that won't go out of style quickly. Trends fade, but classic items stay relevant for years. Also, consider renting or borrowing clothes for special occasions. Why buy a dress you'll only wear once when you can rent one for a fraction of the price? Thrifting is another great way to build a sustainable wardrobe. It's like a treasure hunt, and you'll often find unique items that no one else has. Plus, it's a great way to support charities and reduce waste. And here's a fact to keep in mind. The Ellen MacArthur Foundation found that by extending the life of clothes by just 9 months, you could reduce their carbon, water, and waste footprints by around 30%. Finally, when your clothes are at the end of their life, recycle or upcycle them instead of throwing them away. Many brands offer take-back programs where you can return old clothes to be recycled into new ones. Chapter 7. Greening your finances. How to invest in the future of our planet. Your money has power. Use it wisely. Sustainable investing is about putting your money into companies and funds that align with your values. Did you know that in 2020, sustainable funds attracted a record $51.1 billion in new investments in the U.S.? That's a sign that more people are seeing the value in green investing. Start by looking for ESG, environmental, social, and governance funds. These funds invest in companies that prioritize sustainability, ethical practices, and responsible governance. According to a study by Morgan Stanley, 88% of these funds performed as well or better than their non-ESG counterparts over a 10-year period. That means you don't have to sacrifice returns for your values. You can also choose to bank with institutions that prioritize green initiatives. Some banks offer green bonds that fund environmental projects like renewable energy or clean water initiatives. And let's not forget about divesting from fossil fuels. Moving your investments away from oil, coal, and gas companies can send a powerful message and support the transition to clean energy. It's like voting with your dollars. Finally, consider donating to environmental causes or charities. Even small amounts can make a big difference when they're combined with the efforts of others. Remember, as the saying goes, money talks. Make sure yours is speaking for the planet. Chapter 8. Community Impact. Joining forces for a greener tomorrow. Change starts at home but grows with community. Getting involved in local sustainability efforts can amplify your impact. Start by connecting with local environmental groups. These organizations often organize cleanup events, tree planting, and educational workshops. Did you know that participating in these activities can actually boost your happiness? A study by the University of California found that people who engage in community service report higher levels of life satisfaction. Another way to make a difference is by advocating for green policies in your town or city. This could be anything from pushing for better recycling programs to supporting public transportation. The collective effort can lead to significant changes. If you have the space, consider starting a community garden. Gardens not only provide fresh produce, but also foster a sense of community. Plus, growing your own food is about as local as it gets. Another idea is to host a clothing swap with friends and neighbors. It's a fun way to refresh your wardrobe without spending money or creating waste. And here's something to think about. A report by the World Economic Forum suggests that cities could reduce their carbon footprint by 90% by 2050 if they adopt more sustainable practices. Lastly, don't underestimate the power of education. Sharing what you know about sustainability with others can inspire them to make changes too. As Margaret Mead once said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." Your subscription helps us create more awesome videos. Click that button now.